Yes, good evening, students. Okay, so in today's class, okay, so what we will be having a discussion means, okay, in today's class we will be having a discussion that is regarding the chapter number 4. Okay, so already in the chapter number 4, we have covered 50% of the syllabus, that is by knowing. Yes, good evening, students. So we have already been started with the chapter number 4. Okay, so in the chapter number 4, we have covered, that is nearly the 50% of the syllabus. That is, we have covered regarding the list. Okay, and then what are all the different types of the operations that we are going to perform on the list. Okay, that is already being completed. Okay, now what we will be having a discussion here in this today's class here is that we will be having a discussion that is regarding the what do you mean by the tuple. Yes, we will be having a discussion that is in the today's class regarding this the tuple. Okay, what do you mean by the tuple? Okay, and then how we are going to declare the tuple. Okay, and then what are all the different types of the operations that we are going to perform it on the tuple? How to access the elements in the tuple? So okay, so all these things we will be having a discussion in this today's class. Okay. So here now, first of all, we will be having a discussion that is regarding the definition of the tuple. Okay, so what do you mean by the tuple here? Okay, so a tuple is nothing but it is a collection of objects, or it is nothing but a collection of an elements. Okay, so here now, since I have specified. Yes, so here the tuple, okay, is nothing but what is that? It is a collection of an elements, or it is nothing but a collection of an object, okay, which is nothing but an ordered. It is not an unordered, which is a ordered. Okay, and then even one important feature about this tuple, what you need to understand here is that it is unchangeable. So what do you mean by this unchangeable means? Okay, that is we cannot able to modify the content of the tuple. Okay, neither we can add the tuple nor we can delete the tuple. So that is what is this unchangeable. That's why we call it as a tuple is nothing but a unmutable. Okay, so we cannot do any of the changes to the tuple itself. Okay, now how we are going to specify the tuples? Okay, so the tuples are going to be written, okay, with the round brackets. Okay, whereas the list will be written with the square brackets. How we are going to specify the tuple? Okay, yeah, the syntax for that, in order to specify the tuple here is that is here the tuple name. So this tuple is nothing but the tuple name, then equal to, and then here in this the round brackets we are going to specify the elements belonging to this tuple. Apple, banana, and then the cherry, these are all the elements that belongs to this tuple. So when I will be printing this tuple, then you will be getting the output as that is the apple, banana, and then the cherry. So this is what is the theoretical explanation about the tuple. Okay, so how we are going to create a tuple and all. Okay, now we will be practically implementing this particular concept. Okay, so now we will be practically implementing this particular concept. Okay, so what I will be doing here is that means, okay, so I will be taking the list name. Okay, so here I will be taking the tuple name. Okay, it is not the list. Okay, I will be taking the tuple name as, okay, Adi Sankara. Okay, I will be taking the tuple name as Adi Sankara. Okay, and then in bracket I will be specifying, okay, what are the different branches. Okay, first of all I will be specifying the EC branch. Okay, and then I will be specifying the CS branch. Okay, and then I will be specifying the mechanical branch. Okay, and then, okay, I will be specifying, okay, that is the AI branch. Okay, now what will happen? Okay, so here now you can notice here that the name is not yet been defined. So why this is gonna be specified here? Okay, so here I have specified the tuple name as what? Adi Shankara. Okay, but I have not why actually this the tuple is not gonna be given as an output, right? Okay, it is showing the error. Probably you might have seen here, right? So purposefully I did that error. Okay, why means because here you can notice that what is the syntax for the in order to declare the tuple. So here tuple name then equal to you need to use. Here I have not specified the equal to, right? Here just I have specified the Adi Shankara, and then immediately I have started with the what, the bracket itself. Okay, so that's why, okay, whenever you will be specifying, okay, so whenever you will be specifying any of the things, okay, so you should be very careful about the what is that, the syntax. Okay, now just you look at this here. Okay, so what I did now here, the tuple name is what, the Adi Shankara, and then here the equal to, and then here the round bracket, and in that I will be specifying the elements belonging to the what is that, the tuple. Okay, so here EC, computer science, mechanical, and then the AI. Okay, so these are all the branches that I have taken. Okay, now, okay, when I will be entering, okay, now you can notice here is that it is a free of errors now. Okay, why it is a free of errors? Before, why it was giving an error means before, okay, I have not specified the equal to sign, so so that's why it is being showing the error as that is the Adi Shankara is not yet being defined. What is this Adi Shankara is all about? The Adi Shankara here in this particular program is what, the name of the tuple. Okay, so here now when I will be printing, okay, you can notice here that so when I will be printing, okay, when I will be printing this, that is the Adi Shankara. Okay, so you can notice here, okay, so you need to clearly notice the spelling mistakes also. Okay, and even the Python is a case sensitive also, so you need to look regarding all those aspects. So here when I will be printing this Adi Shankara, okay, now you can notice the output here. Okay, so what is there in this particular output means, so you can notice here is that yes, the EC branch is being printed, computer science is being printed, mechanical is being printed, and then the AI, artificial intelligence, that branch is going to be printed. It means that, okay, whatever the program that we have written, okay, whatever the tuple, okay, that we have created, okay, and then I will be printing the tuple name, that is print Adi Shankara. Okay, so that's why we got the output as that is here EC, CSC, okay, and then mechanical, and then the AI. Okay, now what I will be doing, okay, now you clearly understood, okay, the theoretical concept of how to declare the tuple also, and then the practical implementation about the tuple also. Okay, now what we will be having a discussion means, okay, so whether the tuple consists of all kinds of different data types, because here in this particular example, okay, you might have noticed here that I have taken EC, CS, mechanical, AI. All these are of what are string types, right? Okay, so my question here is that whether the tuple, okay, it will take all kinds of different data types. See, in the first chapter we have learned, okay, what are all the different kinds of the data types. Okay, so my question here in this, the right now here is that whether the tuple, okay, that tuple is going to be consisting of the different data types or the similar kind of data types. Okay, so here obviously the tuple consists of what is that, the different kinds of the data elements. Okay, now let us consider here one of the examples now. Okay, now I will be considering here the examples. Okay, so here you can notice here that I have taken Adi Shankara equal to ECE, CS, mechanical, and then the AI, and then here in the bracket in, and then I will be specifying even the integer values. Okay, I will be specifying 1, 2, 3, and then the 4. Okay, the values I will be specifying. Okay, even you can specify the float values also. Okay, so here in this particular example that I have specified the integer values. So why I am specifying integer values means in order to make you understand that yes, the tuple consists of what, the different kinds of the data types. Okay, so here now when I will be, okay, so here now see here there is a no error now. Okay, you can clearly notice that I have used this integer data types, and as well as I have used the string data types. Okay, then I will be printing here. Okay, so then I will be printing. Okay, so what I will be doing here is that means I will be printing the Adi Shankara here. Now you can clearly notice, okay, the output here. Okay, so what you are noticing here in this output, that yes, EC, the okay, computer science, mechanical, AI, and then along with that even the integer values is going to be displayed as an output here. Okay, so that's why we can clearly mention that yes, the tuple is nothing but what is that? It is a collection of an elements. Okay, it is a collection of an items. It is a collection of an objects. Okay, which are of a different kinds of a data types. Okay, so here this is what is the explanation about what do you mean by the tuple. Okay, and then how we are going to create a tuple. Okay, so now we will be having a look into that. Okay, so we will be having a look into this, the theoretical concepts. Okay, so what we will be having a discussion means, so here you can clearly notice here is that the tuple items can be of any of the data types. So here in this particular slide, okay, in order to make you understand, I have taken only the three of the data types. There are so many data types because we have already learned it in the chapter number 1. Okay, so here you can notice here that is in the tuple 1. Okay, I have taken all the string data types. Okay, and in the tuple 2, okay, and in the tuple 2 I have taken only the integer data types, and in the tuple 3 I have taken all the boolean data types. Okay, and then in this particular example, the last example that is in this particular slide, okay, you can notice that here I have taken the first element as a string type, then the second element as an integer type, and then the third element as an boolean data type. Okay, and then the fourth element once again I have taken it as an integer, and then the fifth element I am taking it as the string type. It means that what the string it means that what the tuple consists of what different kinds of the data elements or different kinds of the data types. Okay, now what we will be having a discussion means, okay, whether the how we can retrieve, okay, what type of an element is going to be present in the tuple. Okay, so here that's what the heading is all about. What is that? What is the data type of the tuple? So how we can retrieve the type of a data that is going to be present in the tuple. Okay, so how we can retrieve it means, so here in this particular example, first of all we will be having a look into this, that is the theoretical explanation. Okay, and then afterwards we will be implementing it practically. Okay, so here in this particular example you can notice that here we have taken the tuple name as that is the my tuple. Okay, and then I will be specifying here the apple, banana, and then the cherry. Okay, so these are all the elements belonging to this that my tuple. And then what is very important thing means, okay, what you need to understand here means, here I will be taking the type here. This is very important here. So in order to retrieve what data type, okay, is going to be present in the tuple. Okay, so I will be using what is that here, type, and then here I will be specifying the tuple name. So here the tuple name I have specified it as a my tuple. So that's why here I will be giving it as type in bracket. I will be specifying it as a my tuple. So when I will be using this statement, that is a print type of my tuple. So what will be the output means? You can clearly notice that here the output you will be getting it as a class tuple. See, some of the students will be having a confusion that, sir, we have heard about the data types means what are the different data types that are going to be present and all, but here it is going to be specifying. Okay, so here the class belongs to the what is that, the tuple itself. Okay, so now you clearly understood, okay, the theoretical explanation about the how to retrieve the data type of a tuple. Okay, now we will be practically implementing this particular concept now. Okay, so already you have seen that, okay, I have taken what is that here, I have taken the Adi Shankara, that is the tuple name. Okay, now what I will be doing here is that means, so here, okay, I will be specifying. Okay, so here I will be specifying here the type. Okay, so here type. Okay, and then here in bracket, okay, I will be specifying the value, that is the tuple name is what, the Adi Shankara. Okay, so here now you can clearly notice here. Okay, so what kind of a data type is all about that is going to be present in this Adi Shankara tuple means how I will be retrieving it with the help of this, that is the type here. So type, and then here what is this, the tuple name. So what is the tuple name that I have given here, Adi Shankara. So that's why here in the print statement I will be using print, okay, and then here in bracket type, okay, and then Adi Shankara. Okay, so when I will be executing this particular statement, okay, so what it will happen, okay, so when I will be executing this particular statement means, okay, so you can clearly notice that, okay, so you are not getting any of the error here, because it is clearly being mentioning that, okay, that is it belongs to the class tuple. Okay, so why the data type, okay, why the data type, it is going to be specifying it as a tuple itself. Okay, because already in the chapter number 1 you have studied about the different kinds of the data types, which we are going to use it in the Python programming languages, right? So here when I will be specifying type and then here the tuple name, so here it is going to be specifying it as a class tuple. Okay, now see here just one modifications that I will do here, okay, in the while declaring the what is that the uh, tuple here. Okay, so you can clearly notice that what modifications that I will be doing here means, okay, so that you will be getting a clear cut idea. Okay, so here now what is there here now, just the same example I will be taking, but instead of this round bracket I am going to use it the square bracket. Okay, so what I will be doing here is that instead of the round bracket, what I will be doing, I will be using the square bracket. Okay, so now you can clearly notice here that I have used what, I have used here the square bracket. Okay, so before that I have used the what, the round bracket. So you should clearly understand the difference between using, okay, because the name is same, Adi Shankar, and the name is same, the branches are also same, right? EC is there, computer science is there, mechanical is there, AI is there, and even, okay, I have taken the same integer numbers, that is 1, 2, 3, and 4. It means that the input is same, right? But only difference what I have done here is that instead of using the round bracket, I have specified it here as the square bracket. Now what will be the output? Okay, so now you can clearly notice. Okay, so now you can clearly notice here is that, okay, so what will be the output of this particular statement? Okay, so here I will be printing, okay, so here I will be printing this Adi Shankara. Okay, now you can notice clearly here. Okay, so what you can notice clearly means you are getting the output as the list itself. Okay, just one modifications I did. Okay, what is the modification that I did? Okay, the one modification what I did here is that instead of using the round bracket, okay, I have specified the square bracket. So here what you need to understand here is that the name might be the same, the elements might be the same, but the difference between the tuple and then the list, okay, is going to be specified with the help of the, that is the round bracket is for the tuple, okay, and then the square bracket is for the list. Okay, so that's what here you got the output as, that is the list here. Okay, now this is what is this, the practical implementation about how to retrieve the data type of the tuple. Okay, now we'll straight away look into this, how we can access. Okay, so how we can access the elements which are going to be present, okay, in the tuple. Okay, so how we can access the tuple items? Okay, so we can access the elements that are going to be present in the tuple, okay, with the help of the index number. Okay, so with the help of an index number we could able to access the elements which are going to be present in the tuple. So here the theoretical explanation example you can notice here is that there I have taken here the tuple name as this tuple here. Okay, and then I have specified apple, banana, and then the cherry. These are all the elements. Suppose if I want to retrieve, okay, the banana, I want to access the element which is going to be present in the index number 1. So how I can specify it? So what is the syntax of specifying the to access the tuple items? Okay, so what is the syntax means? You can clearly notice here is that the tuple name. So what is the tuple name here that we have specified? The this tuple, and in bracket we will be specifying it the index number 1 here. Okay, so what will be the output? Obviously, okay, that is in the index number 1. Okay, so banana is being present, right? So you will be getting the output as that is the banana itself. Okay, so if I could able to specify here the index number as a 0, then I could have got the output as that is the apple. If if I am specifying the index number as a 2, then I would have got the output as that is the cherry. Okay, so one thing what you need to understand here is that always the index number begins with the what is that, the 0 itself. Okay, so now you clearly understood the theoretical explanation about the how to access the items that are going to be present in the tuple. Okay, now we will be practically looking at how we can clearly access, okay, the elements. Okay, so here now see here, now in this particular examples, okay, already we have specified, okay, that is here I have specified the Adi Shankara. Okay, that I have specified what Adi Shankara. Okay, this is what is the tuple name, and then I have specified here EC, CS, mechanical, AI 1, 2, 3, 4. I have specified. Suppose if I want to retrieve, okay, suppose if I want to retrieve the EC, okay, your branch. Okay, so suppose if I want to retrieve your branch, okay, if I want to get the output as your branch, so how I can do that, or how I can access the element EC which is going to be present in the tuple, that is the Adi Shankara. Okay, so how I can do that means, okay, so here clearly, okay, so you can use it, the syntax, okay, for that is, okay, so what I will be doing here is that means, so here print type, okay, here, so here Adi Shankara, you know that, so here I will not be using here the print, okay, that is the Adi Shankara. Okay, so what I will be doing here is that you can clearly notice. Okay, so here just I will be using the square bracket, and then I will be specifying, okay, the index number. So what I did here, okay, so what I did here in this particular example means, you can notice here is that I have used the print statement, and in that I have specified the name of the tuple. Okay, so here Adi Shankara I have specified, and in that I have specified the index number it as a 0. Okay, so here why I am specifying the index number as a 0 means, because EC branch is the first branch, okay, that is going to be present in this the tuple, that is the Adi Shankara. Here I have specified. Okay, so that's why here print Adi Shankara 0. Okay, so here when I will be specifying, that is the print Adi Shankara, okay, that is the 0. Okay, index number. Okay, so here you can clearly notice. Okay, so here you can clearly notice what is the output. Okay, so here you will be getting the output as that is the EC branch itself. So how you retrieved this one? So now you got that, yes, we can access the elements that are going to be present in the what is that, the tuple. Okay, so how we can access the elements that are going to be present in the tuple? Okay, with the help of what is that, the tuple name. Okay, and then in the square bracket we are going to specify the index number. Okay, so that's why here I have specified the index number as a 0. So that's why I got the output as that is the EC. Suppose if I want to get the output as that is the computer science. Okay, so then what changes I need to do here? Yes, can anyone of you could able to tell that what changes I can do, okay, in order to work, okay, in order to get the output as that is the computer science? Okay, so here what is the changes that I can do here in order to get the computer science means? Okay, just I need to change here the index number itself. Okay, so if I could able to change the index number, so you can notice here is that, okay, so whenever I will be specifying the index number 1 here, okay, so you can clearly notice here that is the output that I got here is the computer science. Okay, so CS is what is the output that I got. Okay, so now you clearly understood how we can access the elements. Okay, so we can access the elements only with the help of the index number. We are going to specify this index number in the square bracket itself. Okay, so this is what is the explanation of the positive indexing. Okay, so here positive indexing. Okay, so there is also a negative indexing, okay, which you need to understand. Okay, so here negative indexing. So with the help of the negative indexing also, we could be able to access the elements that are going to be present in the, that is the tuple. So here you need to understand about the what do you mean by the negative indexing. So what value, okay, will be the starting value. Okay, so here first of all you need to understand that the starting value that is here in the negative index number, we are going to specify it as a -1. Okay, so the -1 refers to what? So the -1 refers to the last element. Okay, so here my -2 refers to the what is that? The second last element. Means what? Okay, because some of the students will not be understanding, sir, -1 refers to the last item means what is that? Okay, so here you can notice here this tuple is nothing but the tuple name here. So apple, banana, and then the cherry, these are all the three elements. Okay, so which is the last element? Cherry is the last element right here. Okay, so cherry refers to what? Okay, that is here -1. It is cherry is nothing but having a negative index number, that is the -1. Then what about the banana? Banana is having the index number, that is the -2. Then what about this apple? Okay, it is having the index number, that is the -3. Okay, so like this it keeps on going. Okay, so here now what you need to understand here, when I will be printing the value here, okay, that is here the tuple name, and then here I will be specifying it as a -1. Okay, so here I have specified what? The -1. So what does this -1 refers to? So the -1 refers to the last element. Okay, so which is the last element that is going to be present here? Cherry is the last element that is going to be present, so that's why you will be getting the output as that is the cherry itself. So this is what is the theoretical explanation about the negative indexing, right? But when you should understand how practically we can implement this negative indexing. Okay, so already I have taken an example, that is Adi Shankara. Okay, that is the tuple name I have taken, and in that the elements I have taken it as the ECE, computer science, mechanical, and then the AI. Okay, so these are all the elements that I have specified. Okay, so how I can retrieve the elements that are going to be present in the tuple with the help of negative indexing. Okay, so here what is the syntax? Okay, so the what is the syntax means, the tuple name you need to specify. Okay, and then here in the square bracket you need to specify the index number, the negative index number you need to specify. So here I will be specifying here, now you can notice that I will be specifying here, that is the -1. Okay, so -1 refers to what? It is a negative index number which refers to the last element which is going to be present in the tuple. So here in this particular example, okay, that is we have taken the Adi Shankara. Okay, that is the tuple name. So you here you can notice which is the last element that is present here. 4 is nothing but the last element that is being present in this Adi Shankara. Okay, that is the tuple name. So when I will be printing the output here, okay, so when I will be printing the output, okay, so here you can clearly notice that. Okay, so what you can notice here, yes, okay, you are getting the output as that is the 4 here. Why you are getting the output as a 4? Okay, you need to know that. Okay, why you are getting the output as a 4 itself means because here while specifying the tuple, okay, so the last element that I have specified it as a 4. Okay, so when I will be accessing the element with the help of the negative indexing here, okay, so in order to access the element which is going to be present at the last, okay, so what is the index number? The index number is -1. Okay, so suppose if I will ask you the question here is that, yes, suppose if I ask you, you should get the output that is your branch name. Okay, so how can you able to get the output with the help of the negative index number? Yes, can any one of you could able to tell that? You can specify it in the chat box. Okay, you can specify that clearly in the chat box. Okay, that what is the index number, okay, that we will be using, okay, in order to retrieve the output. You should get the output as your branch. So how we can do that? Okay, so how we can do that means, see here clearly I will be specifying it now. Okay, so how we can do that means here, okay, so here ECE, okay, it is at the what is that, the first element in the positive indexing, but in the negative indexing it is what is the last element. So here -1, -2, -3, -4, -5, -6, -7, then the -8. Okay, so here -8. Okay, I will be specifying the index number. Okay, now you can clearly notice. Okay, so now you can clearly notice okay, the output. Okay, that you will be getting the output as that is the ECE. Okay, so with the help of the negative indexing, also we can able to access the elements that are going to be present in the tuple. Okay, so here now you clearly understood the theoretical concepts about this negative indexing. Okay, now we will be having a look into that. Okay, that is what is the range of indexers. Okay, so what is the range of indexes? Okay, so how we can specify the range of indexes? Okay, so we can specify the range of indexes with the help of that is the starting of the index number, then followed by the colon, then the end index number. But what will be the changes you will be getting in the output means, see here only, okay, the starting index number will be included in the output, but the end index number, okay, will be excluded from the output. It means that you can notice here I have specified here the 2 as an index number. So here 0, 1 and then the 2. So cherry will be the output here. You can notice here the cherry you will be getting as an output here. Then 3 index number will be having what is that, the orange, and then the 4th index number will be having the kiwi. Okay, and then the 5th index number melon is there, right? But the melon is not going to be displayed as an output. Why melon is not going to be displayed as an output means, because here in the range of indices, okay, the end index number is going to be the excluded. Okay, so now this is what is the theoretical explanation about this, the range of indices. Okay, now we will be practically looking into this particular example now. Okay, so we will be practically looking into this particular example. So here now what I will be doing here is that, okay, so I want, okay, the output as starting it should be from the EC, okay, from your branch, that is the EC branch. Okay, and then it should end at the AI branch. Okay, that is what is the output that I am expecting from you all. Okay, so for that what I need to specify here, the index number. Okay, so I will be specifying the index number, okay, as you can notice here 0 colon. Okay, and then I will be specifying it as, okay, that is here the 4. Okay, 0 is to 4 I am specifying. Okay, so what will be the output? Okay, so here what will be the output means, you can notice here, okay, the output that what we will be getting here is that, okay, you can clearly notice that EC, CS, mechanical, and then the AI, we got all the branches, okay, which is going to be displayed in the tuple here. Okay, so but what about this here 1 2 3 4? Okay, so what about this 1 2 3 4? We have not got that. Okay, why? Because here we have clearly specified up to the index number. The end index number is what? That is the 4. 4 is the end index number. So that's why here 0 is nothing but EC, 1 is computer science, 2 is a mechanical, and then the 3 is nothing but the AI. Okay, so 4th index number element is going to be excluded. Okay, so here now you clearly understood, okay, the practical implementation. Okay, so about this particular concept. Okay, so in the next class, okay, so what we will be having a discussion means, so in the next class we will be having a discussion that is regarding, can we able to remove an element from the tuple? Yes, the first question that I want to ask here is that, can we able to remove an element, okay, from the tuple? The first question. And then the second question, if not, okay, then how we can remove an element from the tuple? Okay, whether we need to convert it into the list, and then we can remove the element and all. So those are all the things that what we will be having a look into this in the next class. Okay, so for this class I will be signing off now. Okay, so in the next class we will be having a discussion that is regarding, can we able to remove an element from the tuple or not? Okay, so that's it for the today's class. Okay, thank you.